Welcome. I'm Dee, and this is the Unguided Life, where I am taking it one day at a time, bring you guys along for the journey to hold me accountable as I budget my way through life. Okay, we need to set up our February budget. You heard it. February. February. So, I didn't sleep well, so it is like 4 a.m. in the morning, and I'm up. So I said, let me go ahead and get this done and out the way. Now, I usually try to record this Monday before the budget actually starts. I did attempt to do so, but yeah, it wasn't the best. So here I am again, remixing it with hopes that it comes out a lot better. Now, because it is early in the morning, I do have my tea over here brewing, just so my voice can be woken up. And let's go ahead and get into this. We don't want this to be long. So this is the monthly budget overview. It's a high level overview of my income and expenses. I place them in categories, and as you can see, we have now in the income section what I budget and then what I actually receive for the month, so I can compare that. So at the end of the month, just like I wanted to compare the categories between what I budget and what I actually spent, I want to do that as far as the income as well. So here we are. In order to fill out this, we do need to fill out this. This is the monthly budget overview. This is a detailed view because this view actually talks about the goals I set for the month that may pertain to the budget or life in general, as well as the income that I'm receiving, the expenses, so the bills I'm planning on paying, any miscellaneous items like my giving, and I usually lump all my miscellaneous together so I never break it down. And then we have our variable expenses here. This is where I set the remaining of my money, the discretionary income. I tell it what to do because we want every dollar to have an assignment in my budget. And so how I fill out this is I usually create this bill tracker. And this bill tracker helps me because I'm able to determine what bills actually are due within a particular time frame. So for example, the February budget goes from January 28th to February 24th. And because of that, I know that we still will have 4 more days left in February. And of those 4 days, we have bills that's due, but those bills are going to fall into my March budget. Because I'm a biweekly earner, I assign 2 paychecks a month to my budget. In the event that I have 3 paychecks, which is 2 months out of the year, I then assign it based on that third paycheck, and usually that third paycheck falls into covering like my savings and sinking funds and extra debt. But yeah, so that's how I usually set everything up. So let's go ahead and get our pen out so we can get to it. So our monthly goals. So one thing, and I'm going to turn it because if I do not turn it, I feel like my writing be off. We're going to slide this to the side. Is, as you know, I do my side hustles and I use Everlance as a mileage tracker, and I need to renew the mileage tracker. I actually pay for it yearly, so I think it's like $60. So I need to make sure that is actually in my side income account. Number 2 is for side income. We know we own a goal to pay off my vehicle. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we're bringing in at least $500 from side income. So any additional income to come in, we need to make sure that's at least $500 to cover the expenses. All right, so we're back here. So for my income is broken down into 4 sources: paycheck, savings, rollover, and bonus. Again, I'm a biweekly earner. I get a W-2. I'm a W-2 employee. And so February is not a magic month, so I'm only going to receive 2 paychecks from my employer. I do receive a stipend, and so in that stipend, there was an increase. When it comes to my paycheck, I always do a minimum, I'm going to slide this over just a little bit for myself, of $1,600 per paycheck. No matter if I expect to get less or more, $1,600. It's kind of like I can't get less really, because there's not enough unpaid time that will cause me for this amount to drop, but I'm not able to do overtime. So the amount that I'm getting paid is the normal pay that I receive, less deductions. So there we go with that. So 2 paychecks is $3,200. As stated, the stipend did go up to $153. So we're at $3,353. When it comes to savings, this is from either my regular savings or emergency fund. And when I take out of my savings account, even though it's money that's already earned, I still account for it in my income because it's going to cover an expense. So what comes in, I verify that it's going out. I always know when I'm pulling out my savings ahead of time if I have any sinking fund items that I need to take care of, but I currently do not, so that will be 0. Rollover, this is usually from my unbudgeted account. So you know the portion where I talk about the checking buffer, this is usually what this number is. I do not account for this because when I do the monthly budget with me, or like setting up for the budget, it's days before my current budget closes out. So there's chances that I may have to use that, and I do not want to inflate my income and assign that money to an item and then have to adjust later. So I do not account for rollover until I do my income breakdown. When it comes to bonuses is usually money I don't know is coming in. I don't account for anything that I've already set up, like if I withdraw from any type of rewards program like Ibotta or Fetch Rewards or Shopkicks. If I pull from them, I do not account for it because it's not in my account at that present time. So I only account for any bonus that has hit my account, and there was $138, and I didn't know that was coming, but there it goes. So let's add that. And so this is how much I'll be working with for the month of February. So let's get into the expenses. So we have credit card number 3, which is the store credit card, and there's a balance on it of $59. After I pay this off, there's no balance. Then student loans D is set on the automatic payment, and that's going to be taken out on the 28th, and that's $74. Rent is right now due on the 1st, and it's $715. And before we proceed, let me get a little sip. That is so good. That is mango ginger with a little honey. So I did receive notification they'll be going up on my rent in March. And this kind of gave me confirmation about where I want to be as far as home ownership. So I don't see myself discussing any like home ownership until the 4th quarter, but I just wanted to put that out there in the atmosphere. Now I'm focusing on that soon. Netflix is due on the 8th, and it's $15, and we all know that it's be going up soon. So we're just waiting for our email to let us know when we're going to be affected. Life insurance is $38. Credit card number 1 is $99. This amount comes from when I did my weekly check-in 3, and I haven't made any payment from there that is not covered, or excuse me, any transactions that's not covered. So I'm going to use this number to pay off this balance in February, or pay those purchases off in February, and then everything else from there is going to be covered. Car note. So I know you see the car note is, I'm going to pay it on the 11th. It's not due on the 11th, but I pay it on the 28 days, every 28 days. So the 28th day since the last time I paid it is the 11th, but it's $228. And you say, wait, D, you have been paying $280. What's the change? Well, the change is I refinanced the vehicle. I went ahead and did it for a couple of reasons. The first obvious reason was the interest rate. We already know that I had a high interest rate due to the fact that I purchased a vehicle within my bankruptcy. Because of that, the rate itself, it was set on rate reduction, meaning that every time I made a payment every 3 months, they would reduce it, but it wasn't low enough for me at this point. It won't get low enough. It sits at a even 14% for the life of the loan, and I just didn't feel like that was fair. And so I wanted to refinance just because I have set to pay this off, and I just want an advantage. And I think an advantage is getting a lower interest rate. Additionally, with the new finance company, I'm able to make principal only payments, so I don't feel obligated to, hold the money until the end, and I can make them sporadically. So that's a plus. So the minimum is $228 is what I'm expected to pay. Storage is due on the 13th and it's $7. Credit card number 4 is due on the 13th and it's $94. Then we have water, cable, and election, and it's all due on the 14th. The water bill did go back down to its normal rate. We know when it goes above this rate, there's something going on. Cable is $11, and I have learned that this discount is no longer going to be extended to me as of April of this year, so you won't see this anymore. Electric is $88. That is the budget amount. Then we have the phone bill due on the 15th at $170. Hulu on the 17th of $14. Auto insurance is due on the 18th, and it's $241. This is actually the last payment that I'm going to actually make for this 6-month policy, and I have already purchased my renter's insurance, so I don't know if this payment is going to go down, like if the underwriter is going to adjust for this 1 month, or if they're just going to wait and adjust or apply the discount when they do the renewal. But that's where we've been paying. That's what we're going to pay. OnStar is $16. My given is now $335, and then I have multiple miscellaneous purchases that I need to cover for the month of February, and it's $113. So we're going to add all of this up, and we're going to see exactly how much those expenses are, because we next need to find out what we have remaining to allocate to the variable expenses. And let's see if I was able to talk and do this right. All right, so $2,347. Okay, so let's talk about this section here. So we have envelope system, sinking funds, savings, extra debt, and checking buffer. And we're going to get another sip. Ooh. And this says your greatest strength is love. Yes, I needed that. So let's get back to here. So I do not assign anything to my checking buffer in the beginning, nor savings, because savings, I have my emergency fund, and I'm not putting anything to savings in the beginning. We're trying to pay off a lot for the debt, so we're left with envelope system, sinking funds, and extra debt. So when it comes to the envelope system, we have our 4 categories, which is gas, and I usually fund that $60 each time. Then we have our food category, and that's $150 each time. And then we have our household category, which I am not going to fund at this present time. Like, I don't have anything that I need to purchase in the household range, so I don't need to add anything. Now, when it comes to personal, so the first paycheck, I need $60. $30 is for an appointment I have, and the other $30 is to ensure I have for the next 2 weeks, I have personal money to spend. And then lastly, the last check is $30. So $510 total is what I'm going to allocate there. Then when we talk about the sinking funds, I have 4 sinking funds. Only 3 of them I actually show on camera, like as far as what I'm spending and what's the remaining balance. And so of those 3, we have car maintenance. and we do $50 each time. And then of course we have Papa, and I always show what I'm sending to Papa, but not what his balance is. And then the other one is me, myself, and I in the property. I don't have to add to the property. It's fine. And me, myself, and I, because I'm putting the $30 in the personal and I'm going to use it right away. I'm not going to put it in me, myself, and I. If I had decided not to use it right away, I would have put it there, but I am. So we're going to, in the event that appointment is canceled, because I've been having issues with this lady for over once a year. I make an appointment, she cancels it. I don't know if there's a problem up. If she cancels it this time, meaning that when I say cancel it, she's canceling it for a reason that's, of course, beyond her control. But I just feel like every single time, and it's not like she's offering to actually reschedule it either. So if it happens this time, then I'm going to just do away with her and find someone else, but I'm going to give her another try. And in the event she do cancel it, then I'll move that $30 to that sinking fund to figure everything out. So right now, we're just going to put $300 towards our sinking funds. And so let's see exactly what we have remaining to go towards debt. Oh, I feel like I did that wrong. Did y'all see that? I know I did. 3491, 2347, 510, and 300. All right. So that's a good amount, $334. So the total income is 3491. Then we're going to minus, I'm just going to add up just to make sure our numbers are correct. Yep, 34. So per this, every dollar is accounted for. So before I proceed to the other one, I usually fill this out, as you can see, week 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is how it's going to be broken down. Then we have our expense tracker. This is for the checking buffer account. And this is the sinking funds I monitor, and I have already filled that out. And then we have our expense tracker. This is for the credit card. And then I created this expense tracking total to go along with the expense tracker. I'm not sure what just happened. Because I'm not sure what happened, let's just talk about where we're at. So this is the income at total of $3,491. This is coming from the monthly budget detail view. The giving, you should see exactly what consists of the giving. I'm not sending anything to savings. Housing consists of things like rent, water, electricity, cable. That's listed here if it's listed in our budget, but the total is $844. Insurance is $295. And then we have an insurance is like auto, renters, life, and you should see the list. Then we get into lifestyle. Lifestyle is anything to do with streaming or any type of subscriptions. And so that is $295. Then we have debt. So debt is anything like credit cards. I have student loans and any extra debt payments, and that's going to be a total of $1,001. Then for envelope system, we already know that we're going to send 510, and we discussed that, and 300 to sinking funds. And so what I usually do, because I do need the pen again, is I put the percentages of the categories to see how much of my income am I dedicated to that particular category. So I usually just take the total amount for that category divided by the total amount of my income, and it gives me that decimal. I times it by 100, and then it lets me know. And we're going to do 9.5 because I always round to the nearest one place or 10th. I don't know. Didn't we go through this before? So I just do that again for the other one. And so that's 24. See that? I don't have to. Then we have 295 divided by 3491. So that is going to, oh no, this is wrong. I'm like, oh no, that is wrong. Lifestyle is not 295. See, that's what happened. I got all flustered when that thing went off. This is actually going to be 206. So let's do that again. 206 divided by 3491. And so that's going to be 6. Then we have 510 divided by 3491. And that's going to be 15. Of course, that's a 0. 295 divided by 3491. So that is going to be 8. 1001 divided by 3491. And that's going to be 29. 300 divided by 3491. And that's going to be 8.5. So before we proceed, let's just make sure that our numbers are correct. All right. So let's just fill this in because we know that we're good with that. So I can get that out the way. And then I'm just going to check the numbers and make sure that this equals 100%. And it does. There we go. All right. That is my monthly budget setup. Sometimes you just have to sit and laugh. Even the ending disappeared. I have no clue what was going on when I was recording and why this was happening, but let me go ahead and properly close this out. So in the meantime, in between time, y'all, peace.